You need the right people in your life, people who are ready to go with you, take you by the hand, and go with you every step of the way as far as you want to achieve, rather than confuse you on the journey of your life. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica, and you're welcome back to the FTSL series. Today we are going to be going into lesson 8. But before we do that, I want to give you a recap of what we did in the last lesson, which is lesson 7, and then we can move into today's lesson. If you have not subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, please make sure that you do so now. Make sure you like, comment, engage with me, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Last week we spoke about a lesson titled "Things Are Not Always the Way They Look," and definitely from my experience, I've noticed that it's not always how people look or how things look that is actually the case. Sometimes people are going through a lot and then you really do not know, because they are trying their best to not look the way they are going through, to not look exactly how they feel. Okay, so it's just going to be okay if you are kinder, if you are more easygoing with people, and sometimes you think that what people are showing is actually what they are, and then you start to get intimidated by what people have or what they showcase, and you forget that sometimes these things are not real. Then it would just destabilize you if you keep being intimidated by them. That's what our last lesson was about. It's just me advising you to be nicer and kinder, and then to not be intimidated by what people showcase or throw into your faces. Also, if there is one side of a story that is brought to you and there are more parties involved, you have to confirm from the other parties so that you're sure that the information you're concluding on is correct and it's confirmed from all of the parties. So yeah, if you want to watch the full video about the story I shared a story of one of the experiences I had about this particular lesson, then make sure that you go back to watch lesson 7, which I will link somewhere along the screen. If you also want to be updated about this series, make sure that you watch from lesson 1 down to lesson 7. But today we are going to be moving on to lesson 8. Our mantra for this series is a very simple and short one. If you have been coming with us from lesson 1, you should already know it by now. But anyways, you can always learn it along the line, and it's so simple. It says, I am bold, I am brave, I am not discouraged, I will always find the silver lining. Make sure you're saying this to yourself all the time, and I'm sure that it will encourage you to always find the good in whatever situation that life might throw at you. And having said that, let's move on to lesson 8, which is today's lesson. The title of this lesson is, As Much As You Need People to Rise, You Need the Right People. This one is quite long, but just listen to every word in it and you would understand what this lesson is about. I am also going to break it down, and I'm also going to share a story as usual from my experience. So as much as you need people to rise, you only need the right people. When people say things like, to go far, you need people. To go fast, you walk alone. Or you cannot go very far without people, you need a whole lot of people. Or it takes a village. All those kind of quotes. Sometimes I am tempted to interrupt and tell them, you have to put in the face that states that you need people, but you need the right people. So having people is not the key. What matters is having the right people. So I've always been an advocate of quality over quantity, especially in relationships. Like my relationships, I don't care if it's just one person that is my friend. I don't care if it's just 2 people. As long as they are the right people that I trust, that can give me the needed advice, that would not judge me, that would make sure that I am on the right path, that would advise me based on my own context, my own life context, not based on what they think or feel is best for me or based on what worked for them, then I am fine, as long as I have the right people and the needed people. And if it's just one person, it's fine. So the talk of people make you go far. People, yes, it's very true, but you need the right people, because if you're in the midst of people that are going to confuse you, people that are going to make you frustrated, people that are going to give you different advice that would not be in the same direction that you also are looking at, then it's not going to work out. That's what this lesson is talking about. As much as you need people to rise, you need the right people. And then I'm going to be moving on to the story. For me, after NYSC, I think I already spoke about NYSC in lesson 6, a day at a time. Yeah, so if you need to know about what NYSC is, go back to that video on that lesson and watch it. So NYSC, just for a brief recap, is this program, 1-year program that you do in Nigeria after you graduate, and after that you're now expected to go into the real world and start your life. You can decide what to do at that time. It's usually organized by the federal government, but the truth is that a lot of people after NYSC, that's even the point where confusion sets in, especially when you've not really made enough plans during your NYSC, or if you're posted to a fast state and then you have to now navigate to another state and start your life all over again, and then the confusion comes in. The question, what next, is now one question that eats you from nowhere. This was where I was. That was the state of my life at that time when I learned this lesson. And that's where I started seeing a whole lot of family members come to tell me what they think is best. One thing one person mentioned to me was, you're an accountant, you're already chartered, make sure you find your way into the Big Four. Big Four, these are the 4 biggest financial services company, and then they were also very prominent in Nigeria. They were also in Nigeria, and then they'll tell me, one person told me to make sure I find my way there. That's where things are happening. Someone else told me that I should make sure that I go for my master's immediately. It's better if you go for your master's immediately you're done with your BSc. Someone else said, how about traveling abroad? Don't stay in Nigeria, travel abroad. Another one said that what of your professional exams? These are different people, different advices coming from different people, and they were family. Right? And I'm not saying that because they're family, it's not the best for me. But what I'm saying is that at that moment of my life, I was totally confused because I was getting so many options, so many advice on what to do. So at that point, I was like, okay, I think I need to take a step backward and think about what I want, right? Because these people that are advising me, they're only advising me. Honestly, they're not going to provide me with the resources I need to go for whatever advice they are giving to me. They're not going to be there if I do not excel or do not do well in whatever advices they've given to me. They just want to throw these advices at my face, and then they want me to just take it hook, line, and sinker. But I needed to take a step backward. I needed to take a breath and ask myself, what do you really want? Okay, these are people that love me. So I'm not even doubting that they do not have my best interest at heart. But they were not the people I needed at that time. They were not even very experienced in my own line. So they were just talking based on what worked for them. So I was like, these are not the right people for me in this instance. Okay, I need to find the right set of people, and I need to find them so that they can help me with what I want, not what they want, not what my family members want. So I noticed that those were the only thing they could offer, to just give me piece of advice and leave me to run with it anywhere I find myself. That's going to be my own load to bear. So I decided that I was going to look for the right set of people. So before then, I would only listen to people. When it wasn't time for me to make that decision of what next after my NYSC, I would always listen to people that would have advice for me that, okay, why not go to this school? Why not do that? After all, I was younger. So that was like the first step to making my own decisions about my life. So it was quite strange. That was why I still contemplated listening to them. But eventually, when I realized now this is now my life, I need to make decisions that will favor me, best decisions for me, not depending on what every other person will say based on what they feel, but what I really wanted. So I was now becoming an adult and I needed to take charge of my life. So that was the point where I found myself in. I wanted to determine what was best for me at that time, but I was too confused from the numerous options I had thrown at me by different people. So what did I do? What I did was that I needed to take time. I had to take time and sit down to think about what I really wanted, what were my aspirations, and how I could achieve them. And I found out that the next thing or the best thing for me was to gain experiences. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a job, and I can't get a job automatically. I have to apply. I have to look for people that will refer me. I have to look for people, right people. And this is what I'm talking about, the right people that are looking for good hands, people that will connect you with the right opportunities. And these are not going to be my family members, these are not going to be my brother, my sister, my uncle. They're going to be people that I do not even know, right? People that are in positions like the human resources guys, like head of departments, and people that are looking for finance graduates. So at that time, those were the people I needed. So if I was going to grow, if I was going to go far, I was going to need people, but I was going to need the right people. So I started looking for the right people, and guess how I was able to connect to them? LinkedIn. If you said LinkedIn, then you are right. I can't count how many times I've spoken about LinkedIn. Like, LinkedIn is now becoming an anthem. It's a platform that you would need to be connected to if you are also just starting your career. You're also just growing in whatever field it is that you're growing in. LinkedIn would help you to get job opportunities, reach out to industry experts that would connect you to opportunities. So that was how I was able to connect myself to the right set of people. I got my first job through a referral. It wasn't an easy task. So do not think that because I just said it like that, it happened on a platter of gold. It took me months after NYC, and I kept applying and talking to people, the right people, of course, that can connect me to opportunities. And I got my first job, and from there I started building my experience. And that was when I realized that if you keep saying that you need people, but you are in the midst of the wrong set of people, then you might not know that that's what is actually delaying you or drawing you back. Then you have to reevaluate relationships that you have, and if that's what you actually want at that point in time. So I'm not saying that relationship will not be useful for you in other contexts of life or in other space or sphere of your life, but that goal you want to achieve, it might not be the relationship that will help you. It might be another set of people that would help you. So even when you need people, you need the right people. That's what this lesson is talking about. So I hope you've been able to draw out something from this lesson. So these people on LinkedIn, the people they are people that I've never met from anywhere. They are not my family members. So this states or shows that sometimes the people you need are not even people already in your corner. They're not people you know already. They are not people that are your blood. They are not people that are your family. They're people that they do not know you. You do not know them, but they would help you because they are already connected in that space, or they're already experienced in what you want to achieve. So you have to connect yourself with them by either, looking for where they exist and then consciously putting yourself in that community, or getting referrals from other people that are already in that community. You do not need too many people to confuse you on your life plan. All you need to do is to sit down and map out a plan for yourself. Think about what would benefit you the most and work towards that. Like, make a map for yourself and work towards it. If you listen to so many people, they are going to confuse, especially when you are just still growing, right? They are going to confuse you. Make sure that you are able to make decisions by yourself. Decision making is something that will really help you now in this age. If not, you get confused, you get frustrated, and you get tired or fagged out a whole lot of times. And for you to meet the right set of people, you would have to find them because they are not already in your space, they are not already in your corner. So make that conscious effort to find the right set of people that you need. If it's a job you're looking for, connect yourself on LinkedIn. If it's a new friend or new network, you know the platform or where to meet them. So based on what you need, that's where you should connect yourself in. Social media has made things easier now. So whatever it is you're looking for, go to the platform or the social media platform that you would find that particular thing. Aside from connecting yourself to the platform, that would connect you to people that you need. Also ask for help and ask for referrals, especially for people that would have gone through that stage that you are just starting. So for example, if you're going on LinkedIn, you do not necessarily have to connect with every recruiter, every HR alone. You can connect to them, but not only them, you can connect to people that already achieved what plan you've mapped out for yourself for the next few years, and reach out to them. Tell them to advise you on how they achieved those steps, and then use that as a pointer or a guide while working towards achieving yours. Trust me, if you do this, the journey will be much more easier, and you would find yourself getting things faster or achieving things faster than you thought that you would have achieved. So I am sure that next time when you hear someone make this quote, you need people in your life, you won't settle for that, right? Instead, you would upgrade that quote and say something like, yes, I need people in my life, but I need the right people. This realization alone would make it easier for you even as you go into the next stage of your life. You need the right people in your life, people who are ready to go with you, take you by the hand, and go with you every step of the way as far as you want to achieve, rather than confuse you on the journey of your life. I hope you've been able to learn one or two things from this video. Always make sure that you share these lessons with people, your friends, your young colleagues. I'm sure that it will help them as they navigate through life. Make sure as well that you subscribe to this channel, like, share, comment, and engage with me, and I'll be glad to engage with you as well. And having said that, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.